I can't stick with a thing unless I emotionally invest myself into it. And so definitely from the firefighter standpoint, which I'm no longer a firefighter,
Okay.
I got out of it. Um, yeah, and it's funny because like I got to a point where it was like I cared less about firefighting and more about writing,
Yes.
um, which it was always kind of there anyway. But it got to a point it was just like fuck it. You know, this is what I was meant to do.
Yeah.
I've loved, you know, I loved the job of firefighting. Not some of the assholes I worked with. A few of them I liked. But I can't write anything unless I'm emotionally invested into it. And I love pulp. I love the adventure, the excitement, and shit. Look at some of the like people's favorite movies.
Right.
Their core like touch my heart string of whatever. They're not talking about dangerous liaisons or whatever the fuck. They're talking about Indiana Jones and the Princess Bride and that kind of thing. And I've loved that my whole life. That's the kind of stuff I've loved. But I also didn't want to write crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't want to just like, oh yeah, like just some extended Gears of War. Well, that's not a bad. That's a horrible example. Gears of War has good emotion, but like some weird, like the small soldiers.
Yeah.
Remember, like the commercials in the movie, like writing an extended version of that. I didn't want to do that. And there is a lot of emotion involved in being a firefighter. You're away from your family, or at least your off time if you're single, but yeah, your family too, for at least a third of your life. You see things that nobody even realizes happens on a consistent basis.
Hmm.
You kind of like peer behind societal's curtain, and it fucks a lot of people up to look behind that curtain. Um, it did me, but I looked behind the curtain when I was 7 years old. So it's weird how you become numb after working a job like that. Because you have to go into work mode. My wife is a nurse, and it's the same for her. She was in ICU.
Right.
You don't have the choice to freak out.
Yeah.
Because everyone's looking to you to do something, and we need people like that. But it does that's not to say that you're impenetrable and Superman and
Right.
all that shit. Emotionally it'll fuck you up. Uh, Horrible stuff. And some I guess I'm the type of person to where in the moment it's like, hey, whatever, this is my job. But that shit piles up.
Right.
It grows, and then at a point you're like, wow, yeah, I'm done with this. Um, but I like writing. I like when people talk a lot of before when I was kind of coming up. When I heard people talk about putting emotion into the writing, I thought it was that like sappy shit that I didn't
Yeah.
like in books. That's not what they meant.
Yeah.
At least that's not what I believe. It's the truth. It's like how you view the world, how what you're feeling about a certain thing. And that's the thing about certain books, especially a lot of books on the Times bestseller list, is that they all reach a line that I call the the line of gooberishness, where it goes from it feeling real and true and also entertaining to just being this like cliche, bullshit. And it always happens. It's like the first three chapters are great, and then they
Yeah.
they switch. Um, but I'm still learning about that kind of stuff, and figuring out. But I've always said writing is like therapy for me.